Hello and welcome to our session on field properties. In this session, we will discuss the various properties that help you customize the look and behavior of fields in Jodoo. These properties are key to tailoring your forms and making them work the way you want them to. Field properties include common settings like field name, description, and hint text. It also has special properties for certain field types. Today we will focus on two key properties, data linkage and formula. Now let's start. Let's take the user registration process as an example. To capture a user's email address, you can name the single line field as email. Note that the field name cannot be empty, but if you prefer a cleaner look, you can hide it by unchecking the show name option. We may set the description as enter your email to provide more context and clarity for the user. Additionally, we can specify hint text like example at jodoo.com and restrict the format to email. In this way, if the user submits anything other than a valid email address, he or she will receive the error message. Different field types allow you to set different formats. For example, you can set the format for a single line field as email, and you can set that for the number field as numeric or percentage. Jodoo offers flexibility in switching field types. Some fields allow you to switch between related field types. We can switch the field types with the drop-down box in the top right corner. For instance, the single line, radio, and single select fields are interchangeable. Similarly, the checkbox and multi-select are interchangeable. This versatility allows you to adapt fields as needed. The initial value is the default value of a field. You can set it with custom, data linkage, lookup, or formula. Custom values are straightforward. You can manually input the desired value. It is a small yet handy feature. A trick to save time on filling forms is to set up the custom value for the date and time, member, and department fields. For the date and time fields, set it as the current time, and then when a member comes to fill out the form, it will automatically display the current date. As shown in the previous session, data linkage is a powerful property that allows you to fetch data from other forms within the current form. It has two major advantages. First, it can pull data from both forms and aggregate tables. Second, it supports setting filters to retrieve only the necessary records, which means it can dynamically list available options based on user selection. This enhances user experience and accuracy. Let's see an example in the vehicle management system of the administration app. When submitting a vehicle request internally, I hope the system can list all the available options based on the vehicle status I selected. Then I can set the Select a Vehicle field with the data linkage. Let's get into the edit mode and go to the data linkage settings. The registered vehicle information is stored in the vehicle registration form, so we can set a linked form as a vehicle registration to call out the registered vehicle information. In the data linkage, only the records that meet the filter conditions will be displayed. As I mentioned, I'd like to filter the available option with the vehicle status, so I will set the value of the status field from the vehicle registration form equal to that of the vehicle status field of the vehicle request form. Now let's save the settings and go back to the form filling page. let's say I want to select from the vehicle that's in stock. I will select in stock for vehicle status. Then here we will see the in-stock vehicles. If we are running out of in-stock vehicles, I can try the vehicles under maintenance instead. Then I can see the vehicles under maintenance in the list. They are different from what we see when we choose in stock. This is how data linkage works. The lookup feature is similar to data linkage. It also retrieves data from other forms or aggregate tables. However, it differs in that it doesn't support filters. It retrieves all available records, making it suitable when you need to pull in all options. As I want to select the vehicle based on the vehicle status, lookup is not a good choice for the select a vehicle field. But for the vehicle status field, I need to pull out all types of vehicle status. I can use the lookup to do that. In the edit mode, I just need to select the status field from the vehicle registration form as a source field. Then I can see all stages of vehicle status listed as available options here. Next, we also have formula to streamline calculations. If I want to summarize all the sales revenue in the sales report, I can use the sum function. Another function that is frequently used in Jodoo is the if function. In an inspection, we can use this function to check if the equipment can pass the inspection automatically. If we need the equipment to score more than 60 points to pass the inspection, let's add a formula for it. First, let's get into the edit mode. Select the result field and set the initial value as formula. Click Edit to edit the formula. Select the if function under the commonly used. Add the arguments accordingly and save the settings. Now let's have a preview. Let's enter a score that is less than 60. It returns fail. And otherwise, pass. In addition to the math and logical functions I have demonstrated, Jodoo also offers text function, date function, and advanced functions for various calculation needs. For more details, consult the function documents in our center. Validation is another valuable property. It allows you to impose submission requirements based on field types. For example, we can make the single line field required when submitting, or restrict members from submitting duplicate items. For the number field, we can set up the valid value range for the field to ensure accurate data entry. Field permissions decides if the member can view or edit this field. Keep in mind that the view permission is a prerequisite for the edit permission. One can only edit field when he or she has a view permission for the field. This feature is particularly useful in scenarios like exams, where you can hide the score field from the students to prevent them from seeing or modifying their scores. At last, we have widths. It helps you to organize the fields. You can arrange up to 4 fields in a row. To enable this feature, go to the form properties first to adjust the form layout. And then go back to change the width. That's all for this session. For more in-depth information on field properties for each field type, check our help docs. In the next session, we will move on to the form properties. See you there.